Muted. No. Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
In the room and on the Zoom. May 12th, whole day. Warren Select Board meeting. Welcome, everybody. All right, Devin, Camilla, Joel, Rebecca. Harvey's online, for those of you who don't know us.
Wow, that's good.
Look at me do it. I'm trying to remember, and I've only done it twice.
Okay.
In my entire tenure as chair, so I'm not doing a good job. Public comment this evening. Anyone?
I just want to quickly thank everybody that came last Saturday to help do spring cleanup. Huge effort, huge help. We just sort of did some various projects, but it was great. And then I also want to thank the Warren Fire Department for putting up the flags before Memorial Day.
Nice. Yes, thank you, fire department, and everyone who helped. You guys were here on Saturday, right?
Yeah. Thanks for pulling that cleanup together. I know, I think it was a great idea, and
Yeah.
I think it can grow
Yeah,
a little bit.
I agree.
I think it's awesome.
we had about
Could be
6
fun.
people, and we didn't get to the town hall building, but I still think it needs some love. So, spring isn't over, so maybe
Right.
within the next month or so we can do something else to try and
Spruce things.
Spruce it up.
It should
Sorry,
be
I
an
couldn't.
annual event.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, do we have any agenda changes this evening? Under other business, we're gonna add Friends of the Mad River,
Thank you very much.
with a brief presentation and request to investigate a couple of culverts, right?
Yep.
Anything else, team? Harvey, anything from you?
The only thing I just want to touch base on in other business is to nail down a date for KMK to come and do their inspection report,
Yeah.
and just pick a date where everybody will be here.
Okay.
So I think that's important so that we can set some priorities
Great.
going forward.
Yeah. Love that. All right, cool. We've got a couple, Conservation Commission is here. Hi.
Hey,
The whole conservation commission.
Kate's coming.
Okay, well, you're not up for a little bit, so I think we're good. Let's jump right into a discussion about the potential to add solar on the new town garage building. We've got our whole team here. Bert and Austin are in the room with us from REARC, and Chris Huston is online from REARC as well, and Steve Roy with Weeman Lamphere. And they're going to sort of walk us through what we got for bids, what the costs are, what the benefits are, and we'll have a conversation. Steve, are you wanting to present from your computer, or should I do it from here?
I was thinking I could try sharing my screen if that shows up well enough. But either way.
Yeah, that's fine. I think so. Do I have to let you share,
I
or can you share?
appear to be able to choose. Question is if I can choose the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay, does that show up for everybody?
We don't see it yet.
We see it now.
See it now. Okay, a little delay maybe. Okay, so the question is why install solar PV now? And has it switched to the second slide?
Yep, we're good. We're with you.
Right, excellent. So the benefits of installing solar PV now are that it'll be a lower long-term operating cost for the building overall. It'll allow you protection from utility rate escalation, which we'll get into a little further. The system is currently eligible for financial incentives that can go directly to the town. And installing now would be the best match with the roof longevity. So if you were to wait 10 years, then you're putting it on a 10-year-old roof. Now would be the best time to match the length of the roof. And we've made a conscious decision to go primarily an all-electric building to heat, and this pairs well with that. So REARC had gone out for 3 separate bids for rooftop solar, and the 3 that were received were from Sterling Mountain Solar, Suncommon, and Green Mountain Solar. And the initial value was for roughly 100 kilowatt DC sized system. That doesn't max out the roof. That was kind of a threshold that we were looking to have as a minimum. The 3 bids were $226,142. Suncommons was $282,287, and Green Mountain Solar's was kind of the biggest outlier at $416,747. When we look at the lowest bid and the pieces that come with it, it is a 100 kilowatt system nominally, but it'll produce 115,000 kilowatt hours initially on an annual basis. And just as a system overview, it's a roof mounted system, so it'll be like a ballasted, it's a very flat roof, just enough for drainage. So the PV panels will be placed onto racks, and the racks will be held down with ballast. It takes, what's proposed is the Hyundai 595 watt bifacial modules, which is what's shown there. And there would be 170 of them, producing 115,000 and about 311 kilowatt hours per year.
Steve, can you just explain, before you move on, about the bifacial panels?
Yeah, I mean, the bifacial panels they're set up in a way that they can create energy from both sides of them. So if they get some reflection from underneath, it's also creating energy.
Thank you.
That's really the only difference. The owner's initial investment, when you factor in all the costs for the system and getting the electrician to set it up, the total is $226,142 for Sterling Mountain's proposal. There's a 30% direct pay credit from the federal government currently. That value is $67,803. There is no state tax credit, and there's no accelerated depreciation that you can take, but this makes a net investment of $158,299. The net investment, when you take the overall cost of $158,000 and change, the payback for that is within year 8. So you're upfront paying your utility bill for the first 8 years. After that, it's paying you back. And the estimated value of the energy cost savings. So this is the 25-year amount of energy that you produced is expected to be valued at $509,000. And when you take away the net investment from that, the savings to the town would be $441,368 at that 25th year. The system will continue to work after 25 years. There isn't it's not ever going to just stop working. It's going to slowly deteriorate and produce a little bit less, but it won't ever stop producing. And all of these numbers have been based on a 2.8% electricity escalation rate. That is the rate that has been over the last 25 years. So in the early 2000s, escalation was low, and I'll get into that a little further. We also asked for for the solar companies to give us a proposal if we maximized the amount of space on the roof that's available. And in this situation, the kilowatt hour annual production raised to 160,540 kilowatt hours. And the cost of that system is $349,982. Again, that includes the electrician's work, the solar, any markups by the contractor. And that payback is within year 9, so just a slightly different payback year. And the overall estimated energy cost savings is $611,764 at year 25. The warranty for this system is a 25-year performance warranty on the actual module itself. It's a 25-year warranty on the racking system and on the N-phase microinverters and on all workmanship. So they've referred to it as a bumper-to-bumper. Everything is covered under the same 25-year warranty. And additionally, REARC carries standard 1-year warranty for the building itself. But by doing it now, if there's any related leaks or problems that happen as a result of the installation, that's all part of the warranty as well. And as we look at the cost of energy and how it's changed over the last 25 or 26 years, back in 2000, the cost of electricity was about 11 cents per kilowatt hour. We're now in the 21.5 cent range, plus or minus. And that, over those years, is a 2.8% annual increase. What we've seen lately, or in the early 2000s, there was a lot of Hydro-Quebec contracts that created a pretty low inflation rate. So it was pretty flat for a few years. Then we started to see some 2 to 3% increases. In 2022, we saw the largest increase of 7%, followed by a 6% increase in 2023. I don't know what next year will bring, but we've seen a little bit higher escalation in the past couple of years. And what happens if you wait to install solar? For one, those incentives may not be available in the future. 2, the system longevity might not match the roof, like I discussed earlier. And the full building warranty would not cover any leaks that a future solar installer might make if there was a problem. So we wanted to take a look at what the overall project budget looks like with and without solar. And this is the current project budget without solar. The overall cost is hovering around $8,755,000. And what we're comparing to here is a bond vote estimate of 9.44 million. I think that's a little bit under what was actually requested in the bond vote. But without any solar, we're $685,000 underneath that 9.4 million budget. If we add in the value of the 100 kilowatt solar array and we factor in the tax credits, that would put the budget at 8.924 million, which is $516,000 under the $9.4 million budget. And this third option is if we take the largest of the solar arrays, that makes the budget $9,017,000, which is $423,000 under that same 9.4 million. I do want to point out too that the owner contingency being carried is $408,000, a CM contingency of $230,000, and a tariff allowance of $197,000. So there's still $836,000 of that bottom line budget that is contingency and really not expected to be used. Are there any questions?
Steve, when you talked about the 9-year payback, was the savings based on, or did it include the cost of us borrowing the money, or just the dollar amount?
It does not include the cost to borrow money.
Okay.
the bond vote rate, which is 5
5.7?
Yeah.
something like that, 5.5, 5.7, something like that. I'd like to open it up to the board first. Steve, if you want to stop sharing, then I can sort of see the room a little better. And I guess actually, Chris, Austin, Bert, do you all have anything that you'd like to add to Steve's presentation before we start taking questions?
No, we have used Sterling Mountain Solar on 2 previous projects we just finished. One is Marsh House in Waterbury, and the other one was Reed's Common in St. Albans, so we're familiar with a company that is a parallel bidder.
Chris, anything from you?
Oh yeah, Devin, I would just add that it's not, especially in today's sort of current marketplace, it's not every project that we're in this favorable kind of positioning of being well under budget. So we're really pretty thrilled about being in that favorable spot at the beginning of the project. So
Thanks, Chris. I'd love for the board to have an opportunity to ask some questions. Joel and Harvey, I think you guys had some questions last time we were talking about it and some thoughts about solar. Do you have any after the presentation that you want to follow up with?
I'm good. Presentation was great.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the presentation was very well done.
Does anyone in the room have comments, questions? We'd love to hear your opinion. You know, I think some of you may have seen that Camilla posted on Front Porch Forum. We very much want to hear from the taxpayers. So anyone who'd like to share. Yeah, Jim?
So the overall picture of this is that we had a bond vote and we approved 9 point something million in the bond vote. And the project is coming in several $100,000 under that. And we can still put in, we can do the solar without going back to the taxpayers and asking them for any additional funds.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time figuring out why we would not do this.
What we approved, what we asked for was up to $10 million.
Yeah.
So, you know, the way you have to word.
Yeah.
And so I think, for me, what was understood in that was we weren't trying to spend the whole $10 million. So the question that's coming up for me is, what is the ask of the taxpayers at this time? Money that we're borrowing, that we're going to be paying interest on. So, you know, if we can, I think the intent was always to hold that as low as we possibly can.
Okay.
That's the question that's on the table.
Okay.
How low can we possibly keep
I
it
get that.
without sacrificing something else?
I get that, but they just pointed out that in 8 years that it's a wash, so.
Yeah, Tim.
Tim Seneff. I would like to know if you all could figure out what the total interest payment on the bond will be. Second, using the Warren School classroom as an example, was a low bid and came in over, if I remember correctly. That was
The
a
what?
long time ago.
Oh, the solar
No,
up
when
at
they did the extra classroom. So to say that the building is going to be under, you can say that on paper, but in reality, you don't know what's going to happen sometimes on a job site, what's going to raise it, what's not, you know. So we can think that it's hopefully going to go as he's saying the price is going to be, but that's not necessarily the case. Things could change radically in the next couple months on the price of wood, price of anything.
But we do have fixed bids, am I right?
Yes, we have
On-
a fixed contract.
And the number there does include contingency, so
Yes.
there's some more assurance that
What's
it's,
the contingency?
So that's
There-
that $836,000 worth of sort of slush funds, so to speak. So in the event, and Bert, Austin, you guys might want to explain this better, but I think the way that they explained it to us is, at least the contingency that REARC carries is in the event that one of the subs does go over their budget a little bit because of the things that you're talking about, Tim, that's absorbed by that contingency fund. So we're not seeing change orders for price fluctuations or a few extra hours being spent on a particular portion of the project. It's absorbed with those contingencies.
So then it could go up to $10 million.
No, that 836 is part of that
That 8 point, whatever, is,
5.
includes the contingency, so it could go down
Theoretically.
if we didn't spend the
theoretically.
contingency.
We could see a savings of 836,000, best case scenario.
Okay, well, I'm still curious if the town could figure out what the total interest is gonna be on this project over the 30-year
Should
period.
be able to do that,
Thank you.
yeah.
How much is the bond, interest on the bond?
I think, we think it's 5.7, we can probably
The rate?
pull it.
5%, so basically
Yeah.
7 years, it's gonna double your interest.
7 years is gonna double your interest. I'm not sure
No, not 7,
No,
what you mean.
it's what, 12, right? 12 years? When it hits 68 or 70?
15, I think. 5 and the 75 is 15. I think that's what it is.
I just wondering how much, you're adding another 100,000, but in 15 years, you're gonna
I
have
see.
another $100,000 or $200,000 interest that you're not covering.
Why?
I'm not,
Talking about
I don't-
on
I'm
this-
not sure I'm following you,
They're
sorry.
gonna be paying down, so it'll be less. They'll be paying down the.
Yeah, but when you do a loan like that, when it adds up to 70, your interest, you basically paid
I don't think it
100%
works the
interest.
same way because it's a municipal bond, but we can check. We have a payment schedule already known, but I don't think it's the same as like our home mortgages,
Yeah,
where
okay.
you're paying this huge amount of interest originally and a little bit of principal. I think it's almost equalized, not quite, but sort of. Rebecca will pull it up, so
Yeah,
hang tight
okay,
on that.
that's all.
Let's come back to that. Yeah. Yes,
Hi,
please.
Kate
Hi, Kate.
Warner. My taxes have been going up every year like everybody else's, and I fully 100% support investing in solar for our municipal buildings.
Thanks, Kate. What do other people in the room think?
What she
Are
said.
you online?
Randy? Graves? Yeah? You agree
Yeah, so what Kate said.
with doing the solar? So if I, yeah,
Let
Keto.
me just suggest a different financial metric to use rather than this like payback period is if you had that money and you put it in the bank, you get something less than the cost to borrow it.
Yeah, I
But
think
your
we get like
rate of
3%.
return, Your internal rate of return on that money is like 8 or 9%. So you can make more money by investing in solar than you will by not investing in solar.
Mm-hmm.
It will pay its fair share of that, the loan and give you more back over time.
And I think that's what Steve was pulling out with the like, Steve, can you remind us of those numbers with the savings over 25 years?
Yeah, I mean, the savings are
I mean, it's a guesstimate.
based on the production and the energy rates that are assumed. So there is that, and it doesn't factor in the borrow costs. So just a caveat.
Are you pulling those numbers up just to refresh us? Sorry, I'll jot them down so I don't lose them again.
Yeah. Which numbers are you looking for precisely?
Oh, Bert, do you have it?
Yeah, is it the 25 years?
25 years
that-
with either the 100 kW or the 145?
Yeah, it's $611,000 a year 25.
In projected energy cost savings.
Yes.
So the 150.
Is that for the larger?
Which-
Is that the,
Larger
that's the
That's
full
for the-
That's
system?
larger.
For the larger system.
It's 400 something for the smaller one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or 31.
The smaller
431.
one is 431 and the larger one is 611,000.
So, okay, so just to be clear, it sounds like we reintroduced the larger one, even though at the last meeting we said we just wanted to go with 100K.
I
Is
thought
that
we
put back on the
didn't,
table?
it's in the presentation
I
because it's
know
part of
this,
our
yeah.
options. I don't recall that we said anything about what we were or weren't doing.
Oh, that's what I recalled at the meeting up there, so.
I don't remember that. I'm sorry if I missed it. But
Okay,
my next
so it's all
question
on the table.
was gonna be, what are our thoughts with given the numbers about the size of the array, the amount of
Well,
savings projected,
one
the
thing
cost of.
I'd like to know, didn't get a chance to get the numbers. Is there a chance that we could pay this out of capital? I was at the 226,000.
Right.
Which
Comes down
which
to,
comes to 158, I
Yeah.
believe. Do we have the funds in capital, in one of our, capital accounts to pay it that way rather than borrowing, rather than adding to the bond? And I don't have those numbers, so.
I do have them.
but before you do that, do you want us, you have them there?
Well, yeah, I have them, but, I think we'd have to look at it closer because of all the other projects that we have.
Right, what's allocated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So,
Yes, Randy.
Maybe you covered this earlier in other meetings. What's the usage? Isn't that,
Projected
doesn't that
usage.
predicate the smaller
The size of the
versus the
system.
larger?
Right, so we would, I believe you said the 100K was estimated to be able to cover what we needed. If we went to the full coverage, it would be perhaps helping with other municipal needs, town needs.
Does anyone about Steve?
right?
Do you know if is that where that 100 kW came from? You're muted, just so you know.
You're still muted.
Sorry. There hasn't been any energy modeling done for the building, so there isn't a precise number on what it would take or what it wouldn't take.
That's right.
Right.
I think the 100 may have been a convenient size to base it on, but maybe not much more scientific than that.
Right. I remember lots of back of the napkin now,
Yeah, and looking into
Conversations.
doing the energy modeling and
which was
that
like
was
another
gonna cost,
5,000.
Yeah, more money.
We
and
felt like we
take
might
time.
be able to make a decision without it. So, what does the room think about the size of the array?
Quail
Yeah.
and Warren. So I'm curious to know, so when you say supposedly the smaller array will take care of the building usage, and if there's excess and you say that's going to go to other municipalities, do we know that that is in fact possible?
It would
Well,
go to,
it would-
it would feed into our
the
Green
rest of
Mountain Power
our-
accounts, right? The credits would be applied to our energy usage as a municipality,
So the
Okay.
rest of the town.
just this municipality.
Okay.
So how much is solar covering now of the municipalities? load?
From the school?
it's allocated, various ways.
I don't know the total percentage.
I don't know the total
Yeah,
percentage either, but.
Because I think the way it works is collectively your meters are all lumped for the purposes of the solar. So whatever the solar do would be applied to that. So the limit would be what are you paying now for energy?
We had a wonderful meeting with
Yeah.
Zach Casey a few weeks ago, and he said that we have the ability to choose
Yeah.
where the solar credits are applied. And currently they are like kind of scattered between a bunch of smaller accounts, and we have decided to engage in a process of streamlining that so that we can more accurately see what is the usage. Like if we put it toward this building and the fire department, right? Like those two bills, or this one and the town garage, how much of our total energy consumption are we supplying?
Right.
So that we have a better understanding of that. But it's really hard to gather that information right now. We have like some of it going to the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on
we
the
have like
streets, kind of
probably 18 or 20 Green Mountain Power bills because of all the various things that we have, so, yeah, it's crazy.
Lisa, yeah, I see you here with your hand up.
Thank you. Please ask people to identify themselves.
Yes, we're trying. Wait, thank you for the reminder. Yes,
Another
Quail.
question, Quail. So again, I would also second Tim's opinion of, I'd like to see the amount of interest on the bond.
So,
For the added cost of the, just for clarification, for the added cost of the array?
For the solar, I guess in both scenarios, the small setup and the large setup.
So the total interest on the bond at the price with the 100K and with the 145K, is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Yeah.
Yes.
Not just the
Right.
solar itself.
I wonder if that's someone who isn't right here could do while we're doing, it's at you have the.
it's at, 4.276.
4.276% on over 30 years. For the cost, the net costs. So either the 140. Please and thank you. Sorry, I used to do this when I didn't have to run the meeting. Roberta, you're perfectly positioned for this. Please. Because that would be helpful. Quail, the only reason I'm asking that we do it now is that we're on a little bit of a time crunch for making these decisions. We have to decide by the end of the month according to the quote that we have in order to hold those prices. So I'm just trying to fill in as much information as we can now.
How many years is the bond vote borrowed for?
30.
30. Okay.
I'd just like to remind everybody that in the town plan that was adopted in 2019, the select board at that time asked to please use as much solar and green resources as possible, as just a thing that we are sort of
moving toward renewables.
Has already sort of, as a structure, has already been put into place ahead of us at this point in time, just as a thing to guide us a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what the town plan says.
Yeah. Kate.
And thus, Kate Warner, I also support go as big as you can. Might as well.
Thank you, Kate.
I guess, Devin, this is Harvey.
Hi.
The open question, I think the economics are compelling, the presentation was compelling. I'm a big fan of solar. The question maybe we should spend a little time on is, what did we tell people in the meetings that led up to the bond vote? And are we comfortable that we're in good shape relative to what we told people?
Yeah. So, and I would love to hear from the room on this because I think our recollections are I think we're pretty clear, but we might differ a little bit. What I recall was that we said, we're going to price this building, and if we have money available to put the solar array on without going over the estimated budget, that would be awesome. We could talk about doing it. Your recollection of that is a little bit different or similar?
Similar.
Okay.
I mean,
so I think we're
honestly,
curious.
I think that was a conversation on the task force more than that we had a lot of public discussions about whether we were going to include solar or not. I think.
What do you guys remember? Quail, I think you've been participating in this most of the time, right? You've been at a lot of these public meetings. Do you guys have any recollection as to whether that came up?
I don't remember it being a separate conversation. I think it was more just about the overall budget from my recollection.
Do you remember us talking about solar?
Yes, it was definitely on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel like we made any promises one way or the other is my feeling.
Right, I guess
the only
that's...
promise that I felt like that I feel responsible for was saying we're asking for this much money. We're not trying to spend this much money. We're not saying,
Right.
okay, well, you gave us 10 million, so let's see how we can spend 10 million. That was that was my take on it. Was I really wanted to keep that number as low as possible. So.
And
that's
so
all.
I think one of the points that we're considering as a board right now, and to Harvey's point, is like when we talked about will it fit in the budget. Do we know that well enough now to be able to make a decision to spend a little bit extra before we've even put shovels in the ground? Or do we need to wait longer? And there are some pressures asking us to decide now versus later, like the incentive, like getting a subcontractor on board and on schedule, right? So we're trying to look at what are the potential contingencies, what are the potentials for overrun in budget. Are they minimal enough that we feel comfortable spending this money now or not? Does that? Bert, please.
Yeah, so out of the contingency, 408,000 is called owner contingency. That's if you as an owner, I want to add another welder, or I want to make a change, I need to add another restroom. If you don't make any of those changes, that 408,000 pretty much stays intact, unless there's design changes, but code issues that come up, inspectors, having jurisdiction may make a change at CVO, but that 408 it's really your money, so that could be used for solar, or maybe you don't spend any of it because you don't want to make any changes.
On that note, can I ask a question about where we are with the fire marshal and the welding? Is that a possible change that's going to have to be made?
Steve just updated us on
sorry, I didn't
email.
see it.
That's okay, if you could, Steve.
Yeah, so the update from earlier this week, so the IBC code has repair garages under the S1 category, so that's how we submitted it originally. For welding purposes, this particular reviewer would like it to be, that's what they consider to be an F1 use, like a factory use, as if they were building things. The type of construction for the building is such that the entire building could be classified as F1, and they should be able to do anything they want where. I've sent my information to the code official. I'm awaiting for their agreement that we can classify the entire building as F1, if that's what they choose.
So just to clarify, Steve, the reclassification allows the road crew to perform all of those mechanicking and welding functions that they usually do, but doesn't require any design changes.
That is what we believe and what we've tried to make the case for, yes.
Okay.
So we're waiting to get an answer on that.
Waiting to hear back.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I have some back of the napkin numbers on the borrowing costs for the
Yes.
different size solar arrays.
Please. Love that napkin.
I believe over the 30 years, the cost for the 100 kilowatt system is $21,800 of borrowing cost. So when you take the 431,000 of energy savings minus the 121,000 of borrowing costs, that's still a savings to taxpayer of 309,568. For the larger array, what I was getting is 188,300 in borrowing costs, and subtracted from 611,000, it's still a benefit to the town of 423,464.
Sorry, Steve, can you say the 145 kW system again?
Yep, borrowing cost 188,300
What?
That's the interest on 400,000?
on 244,000.
That's the interest? How did we
Yes.
go from 21,800 to 188?
121,800.
Oh, sorry. Gotcha.
And then 188,300.
Okay. I don't love.
So did you catch the deltas? Do you want me to?
I did 100. Well, no, the energy savings delta. I didn't catch those.
Okay, so after so the borrowing cost is 30 years, the solar costs are 25 years, so there's a 5-year difference. But if you take those numbers, for the smaller array, it's still a savings to taxpayers of 309,568. And for the larger array, it's a savings of 423,464.
Thank you for doing that.
That's a lot of interest.
There's a lot of interest. Yes, please, Randy.
Randy again.
Randy Graves.
I'm not a financial person, but I would encourage you guys to think about the capital funds once again, especially as it could, I'm pretty sure, apply to paying down interest, on those loans before it's due.
I don't think we're not allowed to make extra payments on the bond.
Because it's a municipal bond?
Is
Are you
it?
positive?
Yeah, I am positive. We asked a
Can
bunch
you
of
do it on the
times.
front end? I don't think that, looking at the town budget, I don't think you have a capital fund specifically for solar arrays on the garage.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Oh, be, yeah, improvements.
Could potentially be town improvements.
Can be.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems appropriate place to apply that if you can.
Even partially.
We'd have to look
Even
at
if
stuff.
Yeah, we should look at it.
Yeah, I think we should.
Do we have any other questions for our team here at REARC and Steve at Lehman Lab Fair while we have them? I know we've sort of been floating around with a bunch of solar questions, so I just want to make sure we pick their brains to the best of our ability.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, guys, I think we haven't made a decision. We're really good at not making decisions yet. But thank you for being here, and thank you for the presentation. That was really helpful.
Yeah, that was
I think
excellent.
for us all to hear.
Do we have a copy of that?
Yeah.
Did we get a copy? Okay, awesome.
Devin, what's the scope of the decision? When do we
Yeah,
how are we gonna come to this conclusion?
How are we going to come to this conclusion? I think we, the board, need to vote and decide what we want to do. If we feel like we're ready to do that, let me know and we can call a vote. It seemed like we might want to look at potential capital funds to pay for it, talk about where it should come from, if we want to do it, and also what size array.
And we have till the end of the month.
We have until the end of the month.
Our
we
next meeting is still
one more
falls
meeting.
under the.
And we're gonna need to decide by then. So I would urge us, if there's anything outstanding that we wanna talk about or information that we wanna find, let's figure that out now so that we have it available for that meeting. So I think we've answered Quayle's and Tim's questions. Thank you for those. Keith had a question about the interest rate. We did that.
Yep.
You're good?
Yep.
Okay.
How confident are we feeling about the tax credits?
What do you mean? Are they actually gonna give them to us?
Yeah, exactly. Are they happening? Are people, is anybody having any issue with getting their tax credits?
Not on the solar. No.
Not on solar.
We would do both. It depends on what website you look at, but we want to do both. If there's a 5% deposit by, I think, July 5th, and if we finish the solar by December 2027, but it's either one or the other, but we would want to do both, so we
Okay,
guarantee
that's
the
what you were
30%.
saying. Right, that's, okay.
Yeah. Anything, Steve, Chris, you guys have anything to add to that?
No, I don't.
No.
Not specifically, Devin, but sorry, Camilla. Just to add that we're often in the position of advocating for our clients. It's certainly not our decision, so we don't want to portray it as such. But as we mentioned at the outset, it's pretty rare that we see these kinds of numbers projected in such a way that are frankly so compelling as we see these to be for your case, to provide the town with energy, independence and to have that kind of savings that you could share back with your community at year 25 is, it's pretty remarkable. So not to overstate it, I'm not trying to sell anything. It's just one of those that, Steve's presentation kind of states it nicely.
Evan, if I could, this is Harvey.
Yeah.
A quick question for Stephen, just because we don't have the slides up. The difference after the rebate between the 100 and 147, what was that? Is it like 70,000 or what was that?
The actual rebate itself?
No, just the difference in the total spend after
Oh,
you
okay.
deduct the rebate between the two options.
Right, so the net investment for the smaller system is $158,299 compared to $244,987.
So 90,000? I don't know, I might suggest we go to vote, Devin, if you're open to it, and leave the research around whether we can do it from the capital fund or from the bond, delegate authority to look into that and resolve that, whether we delegate it to Rebecca or somebody else. And that we can make the decision right now.
So if we made the decision right now, it would be, are we going with 100K, are we going with 140, whatever it is?
Five.
And we would say we're gonna go ahead with it, and then we would have a further conversation about how we're gonna pay for it? Like,
Yeah,
we're not
Which of the-
delegating that decision to somebody else, we'd be
Right.
deciding how we're gonna pay for it.
I think he meant the research on
Yeah.
like what capital funds, is that right, Harvey?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I know, I'm pretty clear, I know where I stand, but I don't wanna push anybody into a decision they're not ready to make.
I'm good.
You ready?
Is there a
I'm ready.
Yeah, so, Harvey, do you wanna make a motion?
Well, we just have to decide if you want to do 147 or 100.
Yeah, well, what do
That's
you
what we're
guys
asking for.
I think, I mean, the board knows where I stand on this. I am a proponent of solar. I think it makes good sense from a financial perspective, from a timeline perspective, and anything we can do to create more energy resilience and independence from a municipal perspective, I think is really valuable. I was also really impressed with Zach Casey's presentation to us a few weeks ago, in which he was talking about how independent Green Mountain Power is from the regional grid even. They're only pulling 10% of their power from the rest of the New England grid, which is awesome. And the more that we do as municipalities and as individuals to provide energy to that same grid, the more resiliency and independence we have as a state. So I am in favor of it. I feel really great about the fact that we can still be under budget and maximize solar on the roof. I would love to see us put 145 kW up there. And I totally think it's an excellent idea to think about other ways to pay for it instead of putting interest on the bond, but I also want to be mindful of some of the other pressing projects we have for our buildings. So I think that's a good conversation to reserve.
Well, and I think it's a compelling argument to pay for it from the capital funds if it's big enough that you're actually paying for the electricity for the rest of the town, not just the garage. Which I don't know if it would cover the whole town, but at 145, you can probably cover quite a bit of it.
Yeah. And that's probably something we could reach out to Zach to help us sort of figure out, like if we're adding this much more solar production to what we're currently using, you know, like what is that offsetting with? We do have some understanding of what the building will use because he's given us an incentive on the heat pump system. So I think we can do some rough calculations there, Harvey.
Yeah.
So,
well, I would move to go with the 145 and delegate the research around whether it's more appropriate to pay for it from capital or from the bond to Rebecca.
I'll second that motion, Harvey. Do we have any further discussion? Question? Concern?
No.
I guess I'd just like to say, to me, it's kind of scary to finance something for 30 years and have a 25-year life on it. I would You know, I'm not saying I don't like solar or nothing like that, it
Yeah.
just, I think there's some other cost in there. And I don't know enough about it, but it snows here. I watched those ones down by the pizza place, and they're full of snow pointing north, south, east, and west. And
They
Yeah.
do. They do
they're not
do that.
producing 100%. So I
That's
would
true.
be a little concerned, and I know a
Right.
friend of mine put solar in and a heat pump, and all of a sudden the heat pump's drawing $325 worth of electricity that the solar isn't producing. So sometimes what the actual numbers are not quite that. I'm not saying it's
They're-
not good or anything.
There is a
Yeah.
They
calculation.
take that into consideration when
Yeah.
they consider, when they tell you
They
what
do.
the output is.
Yeah,
How much
maybe-
is covered
can-
with snow.
Can
Matter
one
fact,
of you
they don't-
guys
they don't
speak to that?
even- They don't even take 6 months of it into consideration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at least
like-
3 or 4 months.
I don't know anything about it. I know when I was talking about putting on my house with the credits were good for a year, and I go away for the winter, so my light bill goes down to like $45 a month. So, you know, all of a sudden I can't spend my credits, so they're going someplace else.
Yeah.
That was my concern.
Right. I mean, I definitely have a solar array that pays my energy bill through about January
Yeah.
with all electric
Yeah.
heat. And then, you know, February, March, I end up having an electric bill, but I still pay a lot less than where I run
Yeah,
on fossil
no,
fuels.
I agree with solar myself. But
Yeah.
Like,
But that's a good point. And maybe Steve or Chris or Bert, Austin, one of you could just speak to how we get to that calculation.
Yeah, that's something to
I'd have to, Steve, do you know? I'd have to check with Sterling or.
I mean, yeah, the calculations are done by Sterling based on the pitch and the exposure. So it, you know, if we had a 45-degree angle roof and it was at a different location, they would customize it to that. So they've customized it to the roof that has
Cool.
been presented to them.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Randy, Graves.
Randy, again, since we're in the gritty details,
Yeah.
and it does snow here, it would be a bad thing if we lost power at the garage in the middle of the winter. Is this any battery backup? I assume it's not.
It's not currently, and that was a question that was also asked from the Front Porch Forum feed, and something we can talk about, but is also something that could be added down the line, I'm assuming. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could add a power wall at some point, right?
Right.
And it's a good point. Also, I just want to note that with the bifacial panels, when it snows and the sun reflects off of the snow on that roof or the white membrane, it's also getting solar gain from the backside of those panels, which I think is great.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Any other further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Game on.
look at us. We decided.
Nice.
Thank you all so much for helping us make this decision. It's really important to have your feedback.
Yeah, I really appreciate all the responses from the public
Yeah.
on the Front Porch Forum post. That was really helpful for me. I would just say, I got about 30 responses. 1 no, 2 qualified, and all the rest were supporting, so I feel.
Personally to you, not in the discussions room, because I think I only saw like 6.
24 or
Printed some that are
something.
in the
Oh,
feedback
cool.
that I got here, so.
Cool.
But, so, you know, for me, I feel I'm here to represent what I hear from the taxpayers, so.
Thank you for voicing your opinions. It's really important. And Bert, Austin, thank you for being here in person.
Yep,
Chris
of
and
course.
Steve for being online with us. Steve for the presentation, really helpful. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Great to see you all.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Okay, in typical fashion, we are behind schedule. Sorry team, but thank you for bearing with us. We have a couple of planning commission appointments. We have Roberta Elliott with us here, and we are sort of retroactively appointing Sam Robinson, who I believe
Correct.
has already started.
Correct, and I just wanted to be here to let you know that both Sam and Roberta had spent time with the Planning Commission. We had a great meeting last night. Roberta jumped right in, and which was fabulous and great. And I'm just looking forward to them continuing with this. And for those of you who don't know either one of them, especially with Roberta being here, by all means, ask questions.
Yeah, so we got your letter of interest. Thank you. It was excellent. Does the board have any questions for Roberta?
Just thank you.
Yeah, I'm thrilled that you're going to participate.
Stepping up.
You bring a lot of generational knowledge and perspective, and I really appreciate that, so, among other talents.
Harvey, do you have any questions for Roberta or Sam in absentia? Oh, we might have lost him. I think if we could have a motion to appoint them.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint both Roberta Elliott and Sam Robinson to the Planning Commission.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It passes.
Aye.
Oh, there he is. Thanks, Harvey. All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Let it be. Local emergency management plan. Jeff, please. Jim, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
You have the plan in your folder.
I have the plan.
Right there.
I don't think we all have a plan.
First paperclip. I read through it on my computer. Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
good.
Talk to us.
I'm here as my usual yearly local emergency management plan request signature. Not a whole lot changed. Added some names in different places, added some other pieces to it. Working on, well, we've got already the cooling shelter annex for it. Working on a animal annex for when people, if people have to evacuate or whatever, what do they do with their animals? Working with VDART, which is Vermont Disaster Animal Rescue Team, I think is how the acronym is. So trying to work on that because obviously most people aren't going to leave if they can't take their animals.
Yeah.
So,
Cooling shelter is the town hall.
correct. That seems to be they're more worried about the cooling than the warming shelters. So, but we had that done, I guess it was last June, I think we finished that. So,
Right.
Yeah.
other than that, just some updated, like I said, updated names, numbers.
Yeah, it looked good to me.
So, you just have to sign the bottom page.
Do we need a motion to adopt it? I think we do.
I think we do, don't we?
Yeah.
Why not?
I'll make a motion to adopt the updates for the 2026 LEMP.
Lemp. There you go.
I like that.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Your turn. Purple?
Why not? My third favorite color. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Then it just needs to get scanned and
Thanks,
I will
bud.
send it tomorrow.
Awesome. And we don't have anywhere else to sign, right?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Conservation Commission. Please, join us. You can stay where you are if you're comfortable, or you can come to the front of the room, whatever works well for you.
2 seats, it's up to you.
Well, we have two conservation commissions
Yes.
here tonight, but I'm Gunnar Nermy. I'm the land acquisition specialist with the Vermont Department of Forest Parks and Recreation, and we're working on a conservation project here in Warren in partnership with the Warren Conservation Commission to protect 75 acres of land off of Mountain Meadows Road adjacent to Roxbury State Forest. It would be in addition to Roxbury State Forest. The property is owned by the Robinson family, formerly the estate of Leonard Robinson. And yeah, 75 acres ranging in elevation from around 1,700 feet to 2,500 feet on the western slope to the Northfield Range. FPR and the Conservation Commission are interested in it because it would protect a lot of our kind of shared conservation values. It's important high elevation habitat. It's well known to be really high value moose habitat. There's some significant natural communities up there, including some enriched northern hardwood forest. There are multiple headwater streams that flow down through the property to Freeman Brook, which is a Mad River tributary. So water quality, flood resilience, values there. The property is part of a block identified by Vermont Conservation Design as being a highest priority interior forest and connectivity block. And kind of the Northfield Range in general is a really important wildlife corridor for species such as black bear and moose, all sorts of wildlife. So doing what we can to protect the Northfield Range and its ridges and flanks is a high priority for both FPR and the Conservation Commission. One reason FPR is interested in it is because the property has a right-of-way for access off of Mad Meadows Road, which would provide access for the public, but would also provide management access for FPR. And we currently do not have any management access to Roxbury State Forest from the west. So that'd be a big benefit for us having that new access point. And if this moves forward, the property would serve as a match or what we call a cost share tract to one of our Federal Forest Legacy Program grants. In this case, it would be the Rice Mountain Project, which recently closed this past winter, just further down the ridge, just a mile down the ridge. So this is an opportunity to protect land and leverage significant federal funding that help to protect land also here in the Northfield Range. So that's a bit about the property and why FPR is interested in it. The Conservation Commission is partnering to support with landowner relations, project support. They provided some funding for an appraisal of the property that we did last summer, and they are recommending some more funding from the Conservation Reserve Fund to support acquisition and other project costs moving forward. So Kate or Hugo, if you want to talk a little about that.
So we did come to the select board. I was trying to find the exact date and I couldn't. I think it was July 2025 to kind of introduce you to the project, and at the time it was like we didn't know the price yet, and so we're like, we'll come back once we have all the details. So it is under contract with the state. They're buying it at appraised value. We are recommending putting $57,800 from the Conservation Reserve Fund towards the total project cost of $226, which is about 24%. So we're leveraging our town money by 3 to 1.
Is it 60,800 or 57,000?
So we've already spent a couple thousand for the appraisal out of the Warren Conservation Commission annual funding, so that doesn't come from the reserve fund. So the total cost from Warren is 60,800, but the total cost from the Conservation Reserve Fund would be 57,800, and that would go towards both the capital, the land acquisition costs, and then the State of Vermont Stewardship Endowment Fund, so how they would spend for management in the future.
I have a question. I have two questions. One, I guess I'm a little surprised at the assessed value. Why is it so low?
There's a deed restriction that only allows one house there. So even though it was 75 acres, it was limited because of the right-of-way to one house. It's pretty steep, and the access you would need to build a bridge across the stream. Do you mean the town assessed value or the appraised value? The town assessed value was low.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We don't know what the appraised.
I'm talking about, because one of the things that we have to consider is the taxes that we would otherwise see from the property, and this assessed value seems really low. The appraised value is the 268.
No, the appraised value was
158.
The total project cost was 260.
Okay, 158 was the assessed value.
Was the
appraised value, our assessed value. So this is the assessed value prior to the reassessment that just occurred?
I was just gonna say.
And I don't know what the new assessed value is. Has that come out yet?
It isn't necessarily public.
It's been sent out,
It has been
right?
sent to
Oh, it
us.
has? Just to you guys.
Oh, I
but
thought
it's
it was
not.
being mailed. Yes.
But I'm curious what happens to this pilot calculation.
Yeah,
so
I was thinking
the
the same.
pilot calculation would be based off the assessed value at the date of acquisition, so.
Yeah.
So
It'll be
okay, so
updated.
it'll change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you share what the new one is or no?
I don't know.
I don't
I don't
think
know
so.
how we
Okay, I
find
mean,
it.
doesn't matter.
I know how to find it, but I don't think I'm supposed
Okay,
to.
okay, just curious.
I was very curious as well, so I
Coming soon.
apologize. Stay tuned. The right of way. What are your intentions with it?
There are no intentions to, I guess we don't have any specific plans for it. I think it provides an opportunity for access to that side of the state forest. The right of way is currently, it's pretty steep. It's relatively flat for a little bit and then it gets pretty steep. And it's in decent shape for a little while, enough to get in there.
Is it something that you're thinking about developing into like a road? Or are you just planning to access the property on foot through that right of way?
It would be available for the public to access on foot. We might improve it in the future for forest management operations, but we have no plans of improving it into a significant road.
You can get in there with a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Right now?
That's about it.
And so when they close on the property, there will be an interim stewardship plan that can be shared with the town but will not involve any future harvests until the official long-range management plan for the whole Roxbury State Forest unit is complete, which is years from now.
No, it's actually,
It's not years from now.
we're currently in the process of updating the long-range management plan for Roxbury State Forest. And depending on the timing of this closing, this parcel may or may not be included in that new plan. If it's not, it would be included as an amendment, but that would be in the short term.
And there will be a whole public process around commenting on that long-range management plan, and they will involve, anyone can comment on it, but, the Warren Conservation Commission will definitely be looking at it now that there are parcels that are in Warren.
Yeah.
And, it'll involve recreation, habitat. Roxbury State Forest is, I think, pretty special in the fact that it's a state forest that actually does not have a lot of developed recreation and not a lot of trails, so it's kind of wilder than many other state forests. And I think the plan is to keep it that way, from what I understand. So, while there probably will be, sections that are evaluated and recommended for harvest, particularly for forest health.
Tree harvest, logging?
Yes,
Okay. Just make sure.
that we'll all have the opportunity to comment on that when the long-range management plan comes out.
Yeah, I didn't mean to imply that there are any plans for that right now or anything. I was just thinking of, potential improvements or what.
Well, that's the kind of thing that we want to know, right? Like, what are you going to do with it?
But the right of way also provides access just for our land management staff to get out there to mark boundaries, to do assessments, that sort of stuff. So it's beneficial for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
And it's used right now already by the public for backcountry skiing and hunting and whatnot. It'd be great to keep that access.
Does the state of Vermont become a member of the road association, Hito? Mad Meadows Road?
I don't know. Actually, that's an interesting question because the access is, deeded access goes across Mahoney's land, and I've never seen any documentation that the Mad Meadows Road had anything to do with that.
But it comes down to Mad Meadows, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. Yeah, it leaves the Mahoney property at the top of the hill. It's on Mad Meadows Road.
So the Robinson family itself isn't currently a signatory to the Mad Meadows Road agreement.
I've been there 40, 30 years, I've never seen it. Our paperwork is not terribly squared away. You know, these are, I mean, we would have to do some serious digging to figure this out.
But
the
you did
people
have a
had-
huge washout that was really expensive to repair, so I'm just
We
curious
paid for
how
all that ourselves and they were not,
participating.
the owner of the lot that they go across paid his fair share. But they were not, the
They weren't assessed, yeah.
The rule has been if you own a lot accessed by that road,
Yeah.
you would pay for the rebuilding of the road.
But you didn't ask.
But you
Robinson.
didn't
We didn't ask Robinsons to pay. I mean,
Because they didn't have a road going in there.
you know, they take a little, in the last 20 years, they've taken a little bit of wood out of there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right. Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will do a full title search. We actually got title work back today for the property. Yeah, to determine all that stuff kind of in further detail.
What happens to the hunting shed?
The camp that's out there, it's going to be taken down prior to acquisition.
It's pretty much.
The raccoons live
It's
there.
taking-
It's a habitat. I'm checking on it since I was a wee little thing.
It's taking itself down. Kind of. It's all.
It is taking itself down.
Yeah.
Artifacts. That's where we go for archaeological digs.
So we are officially asking for select board support for it to become part of Roxbury State Forest and also to support the 57,800 from the Conservation Board. Yeah.
Sorry, so we said that the letter of support, yes, and approval to use the reserve funds, right?
And the only thing we don't really know is what the loss in tax.
Well, they're gonna pay through the pilot program in lieu of taxes. And right now, that's assessed at $250, $287.
Right.
So it'll
A
just be
year.
the municipal taxes times the new assessment. As long as they, yeah, because that becomes
Okay.
official July 1st, the new assessment.
Probably more like August.
Yeah.
And you're not closing the program.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. So it'll be.
But it'll still be through the pilot. Okay.
Yep. And I mean the pilot sheet lays it out, but the way the pilot process works is it's fixed at that rate for a number of years, gets updated over time on a statewide basis.
Right.
But based on the property taxes at the time of acquisition.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Joel, questions, concerns, thoughts?
I'm not the numbers person, but I like the idea of it. So I'm into to the safe,
Conserving.
going for it, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't speak to
I was
that.
looking at the map. Is this the Mad Meadows parcel that's conserved further south in the other protected lands?
That's Green Mountain Forest.
Oh, okay.
That was part of the Blueberry Lake Phase 2
Oh, okay.
acquisition.
Right. Okay. Harvey, do you have any questions or concerns or thoughts?
No, I think it's a good idea.
Okay. Camilla?
Let's go.
Let's do it. So do we have a motion to approve the letter of support for the Conservation Commission to work in conjunction with the Vermont Department of Forest, Parks and Recreation to acquire this 70, it's not on there, 75
yeah.
plus or minus acre parcel known as the Robinson parcel, and to use reserve funds in the amount of
$57,800.
$57,800.
So
And
moved.
I think our balance right now is around 250,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
At town meeting, I think. Yeah.
244.
240.
That was the end of March, so it could be more.
All right, we have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Can you sign this now, or you will scan it?
They
want
can sign
all
this
of us?
tonight and I'll scan this to you tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine.
Does that work?
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you,
all.
Gunnar, for your presentation. Thank you guys for all of your hard work.
Thanks for your patience, like, getting here.
Okay. Groundbreaking ceremony. Look at this.
We caught up?
Time. Do we have other business? We do, but do you want to
No, I
push
just
the
didn't know if we
groundbreaking?
did. No. I
Because
didn't
we
know
could
if we
put
mentioned.
Julie first. if you want.
What is Julie? I don't know.
Julie is coming to us, let's do that, because Julie's been waiting so patiently.
Okay.
Friends of the Mad River, please.
Yes, I'm
tell
back
us what your
again.
Slideshow is on here if you wanna.
Yeah, you do.
And I was not able to print out copies, but I brought an iPad in case I needed to share.
Will it pop up? Oh, I entered.
Thank you so much for squeezing me in.
Whoa.
I can.
Sorry. I know you asked me if I know how to do this. And I said yes, but I didn't.
But I lied.
Okay. And then just do from beginning.
That's where I get confused.
Go to slideshow and then.
Slideshow. It's really just because I am a Mackie. And it's all backwards and upside down.
Oh, good.
Good? Ready?
It's good. I'm ready.
You still have the look on your face.
I know, because I want this silly bar to go away. So I can
Oh,
read it
yeah,
off,
yeah.
but-
If you go to the More button,
Oh, yeah.
and it'll say Hide Floating Panel.
La 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 la. Hide floating meeting. Oh my gosh, my savior. Thank you.
My time here is well spent.
Yeah.
Culvert or no culvert.
Yeah.
Thank you for slotting me in tonight. I was just here like a month ago or so, and it's really lovely to be back already. And I do promise that we will try to do a better cadence of getting things in front of you with more time. So I know that that was a request that you had. I can breeze through this very quickly in about 5 minutes and definitely ask questions. So next slide. Yeah, we're talking about culvert replacement design. So this is I'm gonna focus on the fact that this is for preliminary design, which we'll talk about that in contrast to what's going on with the Hanks Road culvert. But just to refresh your memory, these are two projects that Friends of the Mad River has done in the last number of years. So Lincoln Gap Road 2019, this one was replaced. So there you see a before and after. And then also we did one in Facedown on German Flats Road in 2023. So just if you have those images in mind, I did not know that there was animation. I apologize for that. Keep going. So what we're talking about is aquatic organism passage. So we're focused on culverts up and down the watershed. This map here just basically zeroes in more or less in the Warren area. But I want to take you very quickly through our methodical process of how we approached this over the last 9 months or so, which since I started in this role back in June, is we took lists that we had from many, many years ago that were identifying priority projects in the watershed. And we revisited the sites because these lists were older. Even the database for DEC, Fish and Wildlife, that evaluates these sites, some of that information is very old. Some of it predates, in that database predates Hurricane Irene even. So we did field surveys to triage and reassess what was going on with some of these sites. The color coding, I won't walk you through the whole thing, but the two that we're going to be talking about tonight are in the sort of the turquoise color. But I've been methodically going through and understanding which ones were already replaced, which ones have gotten worse, which ones, doing an extensive field survey, getting more information, ground truthing, what's the scenario that's going on there. So that whole process plus expert input, which is a Winooski wide AOP team that includes fish and wildlife experts and a lot of our colleagues in other organizations, so that we can all just kind of brainstorm and share information together. I was actually out in the field with Vermont Fish and Wildlife expert and US Fish and Wildlife expert together as a team a week and a half ago. And so that plus our own prioritization matrix helped us whittle these lists that I inherited down, and we came up with the top 2 that look like the best candidates to move forward for preliminary design. So little bullet here, FMR already has the funding in place for 2 30% designs in 2026. We already have that money with the Lake Champlain Basin program. And in my role, I have the capacity to manage the project, to put the preliminary design out to bid, get the 3 bids, work with those people, work very closely with the town of Warren, with Andrew and others to get those preliminary designs. So that's where we're at. That's the process we went through to get these two. It just so happened that the two that the AOP team and these experts all liked best were these two. So they're both very complex projects, I will tell you that. And so I want to start with saying the idea of getting preliminary design on these two is really attractive because you know, some projects are so straightforward that maybe you could just kind of jump to final design. These are not those. So having the funds to get 30% design, to think about how complex they would be and really what the costing would be to get to final design and to get to implementation is really important. The reason why, I'm kind of going out of order for my bullet points here, but the reason why we're so interested in these is because this is really great habitat. So Claybrook and then Lincoln Brook, this culvert in particular is a tributary to Lincoln Brook. But you know, we're really thinking about these as sub-watershed strategies and how to think about like opening up habitat and then continuing up into the headwater streams. That's a strategy that I'm learning about with the fish and wildlife experts. There's always co-benefits of flood resiliency, you know, so thinking about the road infrastructure, the impact to residents, that is definitely the case with these. So the fact that they're perched and that they are not natural stream bed is impact to the aquatic organisms. The fact that they are very much undersized and structurally may have some other problems is flood resiliency. So these are both candidates from both of those perspectives. The mapping that's been done a while ago has shown that potentially each one would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.5 to 2 miles of habitat being opened. And some of that ground truthing and work with the fish and wildlife experts that we were doing was, well, what are the next barriers up? And can the fish even get to these? And so we do understand that, I won't go into a lot of detail, but we do understand natural barriers as well as other barriers. So other barriers could be other culverts, or they could be ponds or anything like that. So we have to really understand the up and down to get that connectivity. So that's what we've been doing. And we feel like we know enough to know that these look really good to go to 30%. And our funding has $60,000 that we have to spend this year to get two 30% designs. So 60,000 could cover complicated preliminary designs like these. And I think that's it. So we are looking for the town of Warren's support to move forward to the RFP process to put this out to bid to get the design work done.
These two?
The two turquoise ones.
Oh, so, this one?
Yep. The reason that those two are in blue is because one is the one that was already done that I showed a picture of, and the other blue one is the culvert on Hanks Road further up that we already have final design money for that we talked about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I was
it's
getting confused, so there's another one on Hanks Brook.
That
you're proposing.
Yeah, that already had a 30% design,
Right,
and so
I know
we got
there's
the
one that
funding
was-
for
yeah,
final design.
This is
Yep.
the second one.
Yep,
Okay.
this is another one. And that, you know, that grouping there just shows you like that's part of that like sub-watershed strategy of thinking of like, let's really start to open up that whole channel up into the national forest and make sure that those cold headwater streams are available for habitat because that's fish refuge, where to go in the heat of the summer, densely forested, the streams are colder, the mad is getting warmer and warmer and warmer. So the more that we can think about opening up that kind of habitat is really important.
What's the gray one downstream?
So the white ones, gray ones, these are ones, the color coding for me is just that those are sites that I'm still assessing. I haven't actually done the field surveys yet.
Because there was like 10 or 12 on that initial list that you had.
Exactly. So I've been able to get to some. There was a few different lists. There was a list that was like, these are the higher priority, and then these are the next tier. So I've just been whittling through those lists. Yeah, cool. It's fun. It's fun work, but it takes a lot of time.
I think when Andrew first saw it, the expectation was that you guys would hit all of those culverts this year. And he was like, "Whoa!"
That was just a starting place. We didn't even know if those lists up and down the watershed. We have found many have already been replaced.
Yeah,
you know, due to different flooding events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my question, as Andrew, chimed in on this already, so, okay.
Yep. And I'm trying to set up a meeting with him so that we build a relationship and so that we work closely together because this is my life. This is what I'm just going to be continuing to try to find culverts and go find the funding. But the preliminary designs will give us a ballpark of how much funding we're talking about for the implementation, and that's important before I can start to think about what would the strategy look like to find that funding. And these are obviously multi-year projects.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go.
The implications to the town, the potential negative implications to the town. What would it cost us? What would the interruptions be, right? Those are kind of the two pieces that we would be wondering about.
So cost to the town, so in my role at Friends of the Mad River is really focused on identifying the projects and then identifying the funding. That isn't to say that there would be no cost to the town. It's very attractive to funders to see the town participate, fiscally in some way. I'm new in this role, so I'm going to tell you that what my boss has told me is that often can look like things like the legal fees for the easements, for access and things like that. So I don't think it would be fair for me to say that it's negligible, but certainly our position is that we're going out and finding the bulk of the funding, and we're finding that from the Basin Program, from the state, from DEC, from things like that. Yep.
Yeah, because I think the other one, the other Hanks Brook piece, we didn't end up having to put anything into as a
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also just want to call out that as far as improving flood resiliency in the headwaters, that was one of the major tenets of the charrette that the Planning Commission conducted last year.
2 years ago?
2 years ago, I think. 2 years ago?
Yeah.
That was one of the tenets that everybody agreed to, and one of the bullet points that they wanted the town to focus on going forward.
Great.
So I really love how that piggybacks on that.
It ties in, yeah. As we're seeing development go steeper, up these slopes and stuff, just anything that we can do for, thoughtful development and maintaining a lot of our trees, is going to help both the cold headwater streams as well as that, just the way that water is moving on that landscape. So this is super important. Yeah.
So you would like from us our support and approval to go forth and seek these 30% designs?
Right. We need to put the RFPs out to get design work done, and we will follow our practices that we have to follow for as an organization, but also because of our funder requires it anyway. So we would have to get 3 bids and then look at those. I will tell you that
that's in line with our purchasing policy as well.
Yeah, I was starting to say something, but that was confusing with the bid for the Hanks Road culvert. But I'll just mention that, which is that one will go out for bid as soon as that contract is signed for that final design one, which is a different pot of money. And that for that final design one, we already have the 30% design from Fitzgerald Engineering. So we're very interested to see them put in a final design bid for that one. But I was out doing a workshop today at Yes Tomorrow that was put on by NRCD and Yes Tomorrow and some other folks, and they worked with instructors coming in from Stone Environmental and SLR, and so I put a bee in their bonnets and 2 engineers from those organizations and said, I'm going to have 2 30% designs coming up, very soon, and they're like, great. So I think we'll get between Fitzgerald and Stone and SLR, I think that we'll get 3 really wonderful bids very quickly.
Stone Environmental is the one who did the Flatiron scoping study. So.
And if you remember from my presentation before, they're the ones that are helping us build our geospatial database, and they are crushing it. They're just doing a great job. So all of this scoping and all of this building pipeline is going to go into that great geodatabase that will show everybody as soon as that's ready.
Great. Yeah, they're great to work with.
Really are.
Yeah.
Really are.
So I don't know that we need a motion, but I think just a vote of approval I say
Sounds
go
great.
for it.
Go for
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank
Well,
you.
you guys have been great to work with, and I'll try to give more heads up when these things are coming as much as I can, and get ready, because hopefully it'll be a flood of projects.
Cool.
Oh, good one.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Julie.
Thank you all.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for the
coming in.
hard work
Work.
that you do, and it's really exciting to be part of this meeting tonight with the solar and the conservation and this. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
It's funny how winds tend to be really expensive for us. Okay. All right. Awesome. Cool. We did that. Groundbreaking ceremony. We moved the date.
Yep.
Does everybody have that? Did I tell everyone?
May 27th,
May 27th, 11:30.
11:30.
Wednesday, May 27th at 11:30.
Yep.
And I don't know.
We haven't really.
I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what we need to know. What do we want to do? Do we want to let Rearc plan it? How do we want to do this? Do we just want to show up and take a picture?
Yeah.
Let's just show up
I
and
don't
take a
think we
picture.
want to make it a big
Let's not
deal.
overdo.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, I didn't know
Lisa,
why it was
please
on the.
be forewarned. May 27th,
Gotcha.
11:30. We're gonna snap a photo.
Carry on.
Low key.
Yeah.
Low key.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
have our hard helmets on and our
If
golden
Shannon has
shovels.
her way with us, she's gonna send you a press release.
Yeah.
And she might make us wear matching outfits.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Spray paint a shovel.
Bow ties. Apparently Rearc has shovels, so we can ask, but like, we don't have to do that. But I
And-
liked
and
your
as-
idea about
yeah.
the road crew.
As far as putting shovels in the ground,
Yeah.
if we're gonna do that, let's have the members of the road crew do
I
it.
agree.
They're, it's for them.
Okay, I guess the only thing I'm curious about is like, do we want to open up the invite for the picture to some of the past select board members that participated in getting this done, or do we want to keep it with the current team? What are your thoughts?
Well, is it, I mean, is it private?
I don't know.
Not if you're inviting me.
Yeah, I mean.
Not if we're inviting Lisa, the whole world knows.
I think it's just
I don't think we need to
whoever wants to
advertise
show
it,
up.
but I
Right.
think, yeah.
People want to come.
If, we can mention it to Luke and Andy and Bob.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't see that. We're good. We're good.
Good comic relief, Camilla. Appreciate that. Okay, I think that's it.
Yay.
Good?
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Anything you
so
wanted
do
to
we
know
want
specifically?
to just sort of let Rearc know that we don't really have any formal plan, that we want to keep it as, quick and simple as
Yep.
possible, and
Yeah, I
maybe if
think-
they've got some thoughts, maybe they can lead us when we get over there.
But
Because none of us have done this before.
I mean, we have a meeting with them.
We do.
before.
After. So
Oh,
we set the photo for before because
Mhm.
someone had a quick turnaround
Sorry,
time.
no, we have another meeting
Oh,
with
I
them.
don't know. if
We don't.
do.
Oh, we don't?
No.
I thought we had them.
Because we can't make
We
any of
changed
them. I can't make
Oh.
tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Someone else couldn't make tomorrow.
So, yeah, maybe, I don't know, they just want to give us a rundown
Yeah.
of what they think needs to happen, or, just so we have some
I'll be in touch with Bert.
idea of
Yeah, let's just
what
like
to
do
expect.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bow ties. Hard hats.
Botox?
No. It's just fat neck of beard. Okay. Good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Other business. I don't have an update on the schedule for the town garage. It is as it's stated. They're
Well, actually, they-
starting on the 18th,
No.
19th.
Push that
Austin's,
back, right?
Austin said that they did a site visit with Green Mountain Power, I think either today or yesterday. And I think that they are bringing in some equipment and some trailers on Friday. I think Kingsbury already has some stuff there, but I believe that they're starting first thing on Monday. Or somebody's starting first thing on Monday.
That's the 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last
That's
meeting
fine.
we had, they said they didn't think they could
I think
do
they
it that
were-
early. I thought.
No, I think they were good, and
I think the
Steve clarified-
groundbreaking ceremony, they didn't feel they could do that early.
Oh, that's what
Because it was it's crazy
Yeah.
when they're mobilizing.
Yeah.
And Steve said as long as they're just doing site work, then the fire safety permit isn't an issue.
Right.
It's once they start working on the
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
So it's going.
So
according to
activity
plan.
will be happening starting Friday and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So it'll start to get busier at that intersection, Friday and then moving forward.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. Imagine that, REARC will have a sign that will be going up
Right.
soonish, towards the bottom of the road, but I don't anticipate, I think for the most part, Andrew, and the crew have gotten most of the materials and stuff
Looks like they're
moved
pretty
out of the way.
stockpiled.
Yeah, they've got,
Oh,
of
good.
course with the
Sorry about
sidewalk
that.
stuff going on, they've got all
Yeah.
the stuff over there as well, but, they're making it work,
Okay.
so,
Awesome.
yeah. But
Sidewalks.
sidewalks,
Looks great.
getting done,
Looks nice.
yeah.
Moving right along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say that they're a gem to work with.
They are a gem.
So, they've talked to the neighbors and answered questions and, people have wanted to know if they need to dig up their flower beds and so they're working with, people in the village and
You haven't heard any concerns from homeowners, good?
nope. So, it was a little noisy today with the jackhammering, but that's, sort of to be expected. And, they don't start, super early and they're not still out there at, 7 o'clock at night, trying to get stuff done. I imagine that they probably won't be here for the next couple of days with the rain that's coming. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but they've been great.
Yay.
Yeah.
What else? Time capsule. We're digging it up
We're digging it up
on Tuesday.
on Tuesday if it's not raining.
At 9:30. Is anyone coming?
I have to work.
Yeah.
I might be able to make it.
You should go.
9:30.
Yeah.
9:30. Start time.
Setup is 9:15, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll start digging at 9:30.
I will be there, but I won't be able to be there until 10 or 10:30.
I asked Ashley Woods if she could, I don't know if she did it, post on Facebook that it's happening and kind of, because, that group of kids who were at Warren Elementary and were part of putting stuff in the time capsule, just trying to find them and connect with them and get information.
And she lived right across the street
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that her Facebook, she might be connected to a lot
Yeah.
of those people, so maybe we'll get some of them.
Yeah.
And I think it was Nelson Sumner was the person who had reached out at some point, maybe it was on Front Porch Forum, and
Yes.
said, I hear this is happening, I remember, and so, I don't know if we've heard
I
anything.
believe Shannon wrote back to him.
She did? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay,
Because I've been trying to forward her stuff because I
Yeah.
feel like it's sort of her baby. And then there was a woman who reached out to me on behalf of her father, who
Okay.
was there when the initial capsule got buried.
awesome.
And I also forwarded her email to Shannon
Okay.
because I think he now lives in North Carolina but wants to be here
Okay.
for the event.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I was actually going to reach out. I'm planning to reach out to Shannon tomorrow just to touch base
Yeah.
and see if she needs anything. I think right now, because there's a lot of unknowns because we don't know what the capsule's going to look like.
Yeah.
When we pull it out of the ground is how are we going to pull it out of the ground? Because I think there's some assumptions that once the Earth is not around it anymore, it may just sort of
pieces, we may be
yeah, exactly.
pieces of it.
And then if we can pull it out as one large piece, how are we going to get it from there over to the fire station? But Jeff and Chris and Andrew were part of the meeting with Shannon and I last week, and between Jeff and Chris and Andrew, they had some
Yeah.
ideas. So yeah.
Are we planning as a town to provide refreshments of any kind? Is that something we need? We don't need to do that, do we?
I don't think so. I again, unknown that we don't know how many people are going to be here. I think
How long it's gonna take.
Exactly.
What's the,
Yeah, I think Jeff is planning, they have fire department tomorrow night training, and I think he's gonna try and recruit some some people to come and sort of help with traffic control. Just safety concerns. That's Andrew and Chris's biggest concern is safety, especially with the large equipment, things like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think school is planning to have maybe the 5th grade class come down. Because I think that the intention is for the 5th and 6th grade classes maybe to put the stuff in the next capsules that are going to be buried.
I was just checking the weather. It does currently look like it might rain, 50% chance, and 82 degrees, so it may be a beautiful day.
Wow, I didn't see that.
Apparently
too far
it
up
was
to
the
know anything.
egg of the eagle of the
Yeah.
Prickly Mountain float.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
she told me.
And Ashley was in it. She was the eaglet.
And apparently, yeah, there's a whole,
Yeah,
whole
there's a
thing. I'm
whole-
not,
Well,
not
and
going to
it's
go down that
It's
road.
gonna be great, and Shannon's compiling all of this stuff,
Yeah.
so it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Are we good on time capsule?
Whatever I find out from Shannon, and I feel you guys need to know, I'll let you know.
Oh, the rain date is the following
The
Tuesday?
26th.
The 26th.
Yeah.
just
Same
so
time.
everyone knows.
Rain date is 26,
Actual date is the 19th.
19th.
First date,
9:30.
9:30. Yeah, be there or be square.
Be an egg.
Be
an oval.
Be an oval.
I had a question that wasn't on this list. Oh, I wonder, I'm curious about, so we want to set a date for KMK to come. That was it. And I wanted to add a conversation about VHB.
Yeah. And I also have one more thing that just popped into my brain that I would like to just have a quick conversation about.
Okay, but is it a scheduling agenda question?
No.
Okay, so what do we think about when to get KMK
What's
on
on
the
our next
schedule? And
Our next
Agenda
plan for
is
our next agenda.
budget review and
I think that's when we tentatively said KMK. Or no?
well, according to the proposed schedule from Harvey, it was review of the purchasing and procurement policy, quarterly budget review, and then
Lisa, will you, oh, I can do it, never mind.
and then the PC is asked to come with their festival permit for the wind down events. They've got 2 dates that they want to.
And we're coaching them on filling those permits out.
Yes, I
so
said
they
that
are-
I can tentatively pencil you in, but I need to see those festival permits first.
Great.
And you know.
And I think we know a
Soon.
little bit more about what we need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So say that again, proposed, the purchasing policy?
procurement policy review of it, and then quarter 1 budget review, and then 1 wind down festival permit. That's it right now.
So either KMK or VHB
Yeah.
probably would fit in there.
So Karen sent off from VHB has already said that June 9th works for her to come.
Okay.
And I have not asked KMK, but Pat was here last week doing some light fixtures, and he said that he would tentatively pencil the 26th or June 23rd. Because right now those dates were fairly.
I guess I'm a little, I'm wondering if that conversation is gonna take
The KMK?
Yeah.
Because we're just going over all the.
It's a huge report.
It's a huge report.
You may have to
I was
break it
actually
into
going to send it
pieces.
to you guys tomorrow so that you can start
Yes, please.
reading it because it's
You might want to
lengthy.
break it into pieces. You may not
Yeah.
want to try to do it all in one meeting.
Right.
Right.
So maybe to that end, we put them on both.
Yeah.
We do it on the 25th. And
And the 9th?
start, let's ask them to start with high priority projects on the 25th. Does that feel like a good way to do it, or like, I guess I haven't seen the
26th.
report, 26th. I haven't seen the report, so I
Yeah,
don't know
that's the
how it's
breakdown.
collated, but like,
It's
It would-
it's broken down by building.
Yeah, so maybe we pick.
so like
pick the
high
buildings.
priority
Mhm.
buildings, like pick 2 buildings and then,
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so that would be the 26th and the 9th, or the 26th and the 23rd? Because I thought you
26th
said
and
something
the
about the
23rd.
23rd.
yeah, 26th and the 23rd, right? Cause the 9th is VHB.
Yep.
Which I think we should reserve anything else for that, cause something will come up
Mhm.
that we're gonna need to do.
Yep.
And then VHB takes a bit.
And VHB, is there gonna be some outreach before that so that we have people
That,
here for that conversation?
yes. I was planning to, so once we confirmed that the 9th worked for everybody and with Karen, was gonna start, was gonna put something in the Valley Reporter. And then I was gonna send an email. I remember mostly who showed up that morning.
Right.
But to a lot of the village crew that have an invested interest in
Yeah.
that.
And then also on Front Porch Forum as we get closer. for
Exactly.
sure. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that on the 9th. We'll do KMK, half of it on the 25th and the rest, or 26th, and then the rest on the 23rd of June. Okay, that feels good. What is happening in the world of the procurement and purchasing policy if we're reviewing that?
I don't know, that was just part of Harvey's.
Yeah, Harvey, can you talk to us a little bit about your vision there? I think we did, I had asked Rebecca to look into it a while ago because when it got updated based on federal grant requirements, it created a bit of a snag for us with working with our usual people. So we made an amendment to that piece.
Did we?
Yeah, but just to that piece.
Yeah, exactly.
And we didn't amend the rest of the purchasing policy, and it is quite different than the draft policy that VLCT has.
Correct.
What is quite different?
Our current purchasing and procurement policies, which
Quite different, is old but slightly amended. Is very different.
Just barely amended.
It was
So
amended
it's
only to come in.
So it's the old one that we're comparing to what VLCT
Correct.
is recommending.
I think that's true.
Okay.
But I
That
haven't
makes
put a
sense, that it
lot
would be
of.
very different.
We did talk about this at length, like last fall. Harvey, can you talk to us about what your vision was with respect to that purchasing policy?
Well, I think policies in general, the idea was that we would take a look at them once a year, so we maintain our familiarity with them in the common kind of use, and if there's any routine updates, then we can do them just as part of the normal course, as well as introduce kind of the new policies that we should have but don't.
So are you sort of anticipating the conversation around the purchasing policy be just that? Like, here's our current policy, here is a draft of a policy that VLCT recommends, what do you guys think? Or do you imagine somebody coming to the table with a redrafted policy on that at that time?
Well, with the purchasing policy, I wasn't thinking we would necessarily need to look at VLCT. The VLCT templates were more for policies we don't have to build from them. But I mean, we could look at them next to each other. That wouldn't be terrible. But
I think our policy. I'm sorry, Harvey.
No, that's all right.
I think our.
No, it was more just to familiarize ourselves with them and just revisit all those assumptions. So number one, they're top of mind for us, and number two, we can adjust them if we think the passage of time would merit that.
Right. I think we know the purchasing policy, we need to raise the threshold
Exactly.
on what we can spend prior to an RFP. That's been a sticking
That's what I was gonna say. I think the policy itself is pretty good. I think we just need to change some of the limits and thresholds and stuff.
Yeah. So I guess that's something that, like, let's send the policy around and earmark things that are concerning to us, and then in the meeting we can say how we think we should adjust this. Does that seem? Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we'll keep that on the 26th, along with the quarter one budget review.
Just out of curiosity, some of this stuff for review, typically we get the agenda and the accompanying documents on Friday.
Mhm.
That is Memorial Day weekend. I happen to be away all weekend, so
Me too.
I'm just curious whether, and I won't be back till Monday.
I will most likely be away as well,
So you
so
do it
I'll
maybe Thursday.
let's try and do the agenda like Monday or Tuesday,
Great.
so that I can get that sent
Okay,
out as soon
that'd
as
be awesome.
possible. Yep.
That'd
Good
be
call.
awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
My other quick thing, we talked about putting porta potty on the green for the summer.
We did?
We did.
We just, I think we sort of like mentioned it. We're finding people are peeing out here. People are noticing people peeing behind the Blair barn. So I think people are going to the library.
My child waters the lilac bushes regularly.
So I think, you know, a little 3 or 4 year old, that's one thing, but I think when adults are back here peeing, it's gross. So
Less than ideal.
yeah, and I think, you know, we want to encourage
Sorry,
people.
Just to be clear, is this like in the middle of the day? People
Yeah.
are just walking up
Yeah.
and getting behind
Yeah.
the building?
Isn't there?
Why?
You're a girl. We don't.
Fourth of July parade, we have people peeing on our lawn all the time. So,
That's a whole
yeah.
different story.
It's
but-
better not to be here
Yeah.
and confront them than it is, you know,
Yeah.
find a yellow spot the next day.
Okay, so what are your thoughts?
So my thought was, because we already have a porta potty up at the fire department, up at 18 and a half for the Sugar Bush station, I was gonna call Wind River and see if we could, you know, make some deal with them that if we get 2 porta potties, you know, it's better than 1, and could they give us a break?
What's up with that one?
That's for parent construction.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It's like $150 a month.
Yeah.
Is that where you want to keep it?
No, I think we sort of talked on Saturday, you know, informally, that we would put it sort of over around the corner.
By Carl's house.
By Carl's house on the line.
Or back, oh no, I guess people wouldn't see it back here.
Right.
Yeah.
But tucked sort of, you know, in between this building and the Blair barn. But, oh, you know,
Yeah.
out of sight, kind of, but still in a spot where people can be like, oh yeah, there's a porta potty right there.
Yeah, well, we have signs indicating that.
Probably, most likely, put up some signs.
I guess I have a couple of thoughts. One, don't we have a public restroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
And that's when people are noticing it.
Okay. And 2, just making sure, like, if we're gonna do this, that it is maintained, because they're really gross when they're not maintained.
So I know that they come, I think we can choose weekly, bi-weekly, whatever,
Okay.
for them to come and maintain them.
And also, I have absolutely seen Bear knock them over.
Oh, exactly. So I'm not in favor, but I'm also not in favor of people peeing out here behind the building.
So, not to get specific or graphic here, but how many people are we seeing doing this, and who's seeing them? And is this something
I have
we can
personally
address
seen 2 men peeing. One was here and one was
during the week?
It was a Saturday.
It was a Saturday.
Maria's seen people, so, and she, you know, she and her, you know, her library people are here more often than I am on the weekends.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So maybe we
Put up signs, no public peeing.
Or, you know, somebody suggested, like, you know, smile, you're on camera. I mean,
Yeah,
once
I
we
was just
get
gonna say,
once we get the
people,
security
I mean-
camera, you know, put up, they will be on camera. But I am not in favor of the porta potties, but I'm just sort of relaying.
I'm concerned about all of the things associated with it,
Yeah.
like you said. I mean, that we can have them come. It's more expensive to have them come more often, so then we're
Yeah.
paying more. But even if you have them, you know, come at a certain interval, and it's really hot weather, and you get used a lot,
Yeah.
it can get really
Smells.
stinky, like you said. Then we get the bears, and then we
Yeah, I
get, you know, is
don't
this
love
something we do
this.
every year? Like, it just.
Well, and so one of the other comments, and ironically I heard it at my town administrator meeting that I was just at, is that a lot of communities are starting to see drug use in their public restrooms and their porta potties and stuff. So that's, and Jeff is starting to see needles up at the Sugar Bush porta potty. So that is that's my other fear.
I get it, I'm sympathetic, but we gotta find a different way to address it. I
Right.
just.
I like smile, you're on camera.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't love the idea. I think, like, if we end up having to go that route, I would rather see it looped in with Stewart MRV and have it be
Yeah.
like in the little shed so the bear
Yeah.
aren't getting to it. And it's
Right.
like managed by someone else. Alice, do you have a thought?
Yes, I did. I'm horrified to hear there's gonna be 2 porta potties over there, honestly. Look at me, I was not planning to even say anything, the meeting was going so well. But I don't get it. First of all, okay, is this your future plan for that green? We keep putting stuff on there. Do you guys visualize what we've created there right now? It's very busy. It's no longer a green. So porta potties, yes, maybe we need them, but I'm not, it's got me riled up, obviously, so.
I think we're with you.
So I also will just bring it up because maybe most people on this board don't know it or remember it, but there is a connection there for the municipal septic.
There is?
Yeah.
To do like a public facing restroom. So
I don't know if that's what you're looking forward to in the future. Maybe I won't be here. I might be 6 feet under. That's the way I'm feeling, but yeah, no, there's a connection that was put in there for the Blair House.
That's a good reminder. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't like the idea of having.
The other thing I thought about, and I don't want to create, more traffic for Marie, but maybe we could put up signs that say that there's public restrooms at the library, on Saturday between the hours of this and that. I'm with you, Alice. I don't want to see, something else out here, but I also don't think anybody wants to see somebody peeing behind a building.
Right, so
Honestly,
I'm just gonna say, I don't think any of us is supportive of porta potties right now. Let's think about what we need, because obviously it's happening because there are no public restrooms available.
Or because sometimes
Some
men
of it's
prefer to
paying
pee
attention.
outside, because the buildings, like if you're seeing them, then you're here and the building's open and it's Saturday and the library's open and there are public restrooms available.
Well, you said it was, a Saturday that you saw. We haven't seen anything Monday through Friday.
No.
Yeah. I
One
porta potty.
more, I'll be quick, just about, we're expecting this huge crowd this summer for the 4th. There'll be porta potties there then, obviously, and everything will be under control, right? But the porta potties, and I have had people peeing in my backyard, and it's non-acceptable in my opinion.
I agree.
But but you can't just put porta potties all over town. That's what I'm feeling right now, because they're here. They'll be here for the 4th, and signs. I think we have signs everywhere. Anyway, okay, I'll be quiet. Good night.
Thank you, Alice, for writing in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anything else under other business? Or can we sign some stuff?
Let's get it signed.
Let's do it. Okay, first is I'm just gonna pass, so print name and title, how do you want me to do this?
I would just
Sign our names?
sign your names.
Or print our names and then sign? Sure.
What is this?
This is for the land acquisition letter.
Can't even sign. Okay, that's the land acquisition letter. This is not something I need. We did this one. We have payroll and accounts payable.
I moved payroll in the amount of $30,402.51. Move to approve, sorry.
There are two for 11,000 here. Maybe it's on the back. Sorry, I see things on the back.
Oh.
No,
This is but that's just the back.
15 and 15, yes, okay.
$30,402.51.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That back part is just what gets deposited into people's accounts.
Right.
The rest is like taxes and FICA and insurance.
Move to approve the accounts payable in the amount of $66,312.36.
I'm just curious what happened at the Von Trapp Lodge.
That was where my conference was.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Nice.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, we have meeting minutes of April 14th. I'm sorry that took me so long to get to.
That's it.
Do we have a motion to approve meeting minutes of April 14th? So moved. Do we have a second?
Second. No, that's right, I can't sign those because.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You weren't here for this one?
Nope.
This is true.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure I was in Mexico. Pretty sure I remember that. Delightfully so.
Okay.
So you guys
Can
have-
lots of liquor, no, not so many.
Kaylee Whitehouse
maybe?
also crossed me in.
We have liquor license, oh, this is somebody new. Road Trip Hospitality.
It's hostile.
Oh, Hostel Teveray. First class, restaurant and bar. Third class, restaurant and bar. That's it. First and third.
Move to approve first and third class liquor license for Hostel Teveray Road, whatever they were. Roadhouse.
Road Trip
Road Trip
Hospitality.
Hospitality.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There you go, Ryan. Talking to you, Ryan.
First class for, and third class for Fit to be Tied.
Move to approve first and what?
Third.
Third class for liquor license for Fit to be Tied.
Second.
All those in
I
favor?
think it's just us. Aye.
Aye. And then to me.
Yeah.
That's it, team. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
And a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.